Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, and today I'm back for episode number 5 of my New Orleans Pelicans MyLeague series here on NBA 2K17. So you can see Anthony Davis goes out with an injury to start the 27-18 season. So we start off accordingly. We are only 1-4 so far, make that 1-5. And you can see we've got an interesting trade offer here for Buddy Hield, but 1-6 after that loss to the Clippers, 1-7 after taking on the Grizzlies. So not a very good start to the year, but I talked about it in the past. I mean, this is a year that I'm kind of expecting to be bad again. We have our own pick into coming into next year's draft, so if we can take advantage of that being another high lottery pick and then kind of add one more piece to this core, and then of course we don't own our pick next year, so that's when we're really going to want to start competing for playoff spots and eventually for playoff rounds. But here we go, we're going to take on the Washington Wizards in this episode. This is going to be the only game I play before the trade deadline. Check out this really cool court animation that they got going in DC here at the Verizon Center. I don't know if they do something similar to this in real life or a variation of it, or maybe this is what they do in real life, but it's pretty cool seeing in game. And then of course they got the highlights playing on the court. So here we go, taking a look at the starting five. So you can see for the Pelicans we've got Teague, Jackson, Solomon Hill, Anthony Davis, and Kelly Olynyk in there, and it's pretty funny seeing Olynyk take the tip over Davis. But anyway, going with pretty standard starting lineup, kind of the one we expected when we came into the year. And you can see it is, I believe that's John Wall ripping our man Teague right there and getting the fast break bucket. But that is Solomon Hill taking a three. That's going to rattle home. So we cut the lead back down to 4-3 early on here in the first quarter. It is Olynyk with the ball on the perimeter. And one of the reasons I signed Olynyk is because I think he's really one of the few guys on the Celtics team this year who can create offense. And I really wanted to bring some of that to this team, but he struggled today. I struggled to use him. He's a guy I definitely have to work with a little bit. It's John Wall in the corner. One reason I wanted to play the Wizards in this game is because they're kind of an interesting team to think about pairing up with a trade as we move forward here in the Pelicans franchise. We've got a few pretty nice assets on our team now in the form of Jackson, Ball, and that next pick that we have. And, you know, we also have Anthony Davis, who's definitely our centerpiece, our building block, the guy we're kind of centering our team around. And it's interesting to think about. I mean, you look at, I know a lot of people have read that article from The Ringer where they talk about the proposed John Wall to the Nuggets deal for, I think it's Moutier and the 2 lottery picks that the Nuggets have, and maybe one of Nurkic and Jokic. So, I mean, I think I look at a team like us and I see us starting to build up some similar assets in the form of 2, young, desirable players and then another lottery pick. And I think that, maybe we could pull off a trade for a superstar player. And, maybe it's not a John Wall. I mean, John Wall might be a little out of our price range, because if we burned all 3 of those assets on Wall, then we pretty much have our 2 players and nothing really else to build around them. I mean, I guess we'd have cap space, but, that only takes you so far. So, we could do that, or we could also go after a guy like Bradley Beal, who would provide a nice 3-point shooter, who would kind of add to this whole space and pace sort of, I want to play 4 out around Davis. I want to have 3-point shooters surrounding him so we can kind of clear it out for him down low and then also be able to play off of that. And Lonzo Ball, he was pretty impressive in his first game here for me. He finds Davis there behind the line. That's going to cut the lead to 3, but I like Ball's athleticism, his quickness, his ability to get up and down the court. I think that's going to play well for us, because I definitely want to be able to run the fast break with this team in the long run. And, also Ball's 3-point shooting, he was able to just kind of walk the ball up the court and pop a 3 at one point because the defender didn't pick him up close enough. And, to me, that is just being able to take advantage of what the defense gives to you, I think, is a really important skill and a really important trait. So seeing that out of Ball was pretty nice. He didn't have the biggest game stat-wise tonight, but I think he's coming along nicely. And I think we're going to pretty much stick with the plan that we originally had for this trade deadline. Things haven't really changed. We haven't been better than I thought we were going to be. We've kind of been maybe a little bit worse than I thought we were going to be, but right around, kind of that middle to maybe early part of the lottery for next season, for next year's draft. And I think we can speed up that kind of tanking process by moving away from some of the pieces that we have on this roster. So Jeff Teague, he becomes available for trade on December 15th. We're going to be, start to shop him shortly thereafter. And then some of the other guys on this team, I mean, for now, we're obviously going to be keeping Ball and Jackson unless we can work on a big package for a big superstar player like a John Wall or, a Giannis Antetokounmpo or someone of that quality. But I don't really foresee that happening. I mean, maybe that's something we do with the draft as well, but who knows. So let's get into the game here a little bit. It's late third quarter. Davis hits that free throw to put us down by 5. So hanging in here with Washington, they played pretty well. And, I was still a bit rusty, still haven't been playing a lot of 2K. So Trey Burke kind of just naturally steps back and hits the 3 right there, putting them back up by 6. Now it's an 8-point game, and it is Satoransky finding his man on the fast break, Trey Burke, who's going to lay that one in, putting Washington back up by 10 now. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. It is Lonzo Ball trying to beat the buzzer here in a moment. Trying to get into the paint, can't quite. Eventually we're just going to move the ball to Davis, who posterizes his defender right there. That was pretty funny. Kind of a standstill poster. You don't see that a lot, but anyway, here come the Wizards. It's Bradley Beal. And they really killed us from behind the line tonight. Beal and Wall were hitting threes. They had Trey Burke hitting threes. They had a lot of their guards hitting shots from behind the line, and that was either keeping the gap open or, you know, opening the gap for them, whatever stage they were in of the process of them building their lead. But there, Jackson, it's a three. I was a little bit, you know, Jackson was a little bit inconsistent for me scoring in this game. I think some of that's, you know, probably due to him just being a rookie and still working things out. I mean, this is only his, I want to say, like 16th or 17th NBA game, but hopefully those things will get worked out in the long run, and he's still got a lot of room to grow. And I am impressed by the fact that he already has a pretty nice three-point shot. So I like to see that, especially if he's going to be playing shooting guard for us, whereas I kind of envisioned him as a small forward originally, and I think he could play either spot for us in the long run, but if he's going to play shooting guard, he definitely needs to be able to shoot. So here we go, 13-point game, under 4 minutes to play. This one all but over. Wall hitting pull-up threes on us. They go up by 16 now. It's a 14-point game, and we actually get the steal right here. Jackson is going to give this one up to Solomon Hill, who will go and lay it in, draw the foul, and one. He would hit the free throw. Now, after another bucket, it's a 9-point game, so actually starting to close this lead down now. Jackson with a nice extra pass to Davis. I believe that was Solomon Hill, excuse me. Hill gets the bucket, so we would get it down to 7 at one point, but Washington, it proved to be too little too late. Washington would eventually hang on. It is Bradley Beal with it. He's going to hit the pull-up J right there on the baseline, putting it back up by 11. Now a 9-point game. Ball with the little steal here. That was just some carelessness by Trey Burke. He had to actually draw the foul and hit both free throws. So 96-86 would be your final game probably. Maybe, or the score may be a little bit closer than the game really was, but I thought we hung in there for the most part, let it get away from us a little bit there at the end of the third and early in the fourth, but tried to battle back. And, you know, ultimately we're a rebuilding team. We're kind of a tanking team. We're not expecting to be good this year, so wins and losses are not a big deal to me. I'm more about just watching and trying to see if the guys are getting better, seeing where the pieces are going to fit in the long term, and, you know, trying to build this team for the long term. So John Wall is your player of the game. He dropped 28 points and 10 assists. Taking a look at the team stats there, you can see there were 10 of 19 from behind the line. That was a big difference in the game. They also took and made 8 more shots than us. So those two differences combined kind of probably add up to the difference in score. And you can see the stat line here for the Wizards. They had 4 guys in double figures, so props to them. We only had 2. Davis and Josh Jackson. It took Jackson 12 shots to get to his 15 points. Ball 9 and 6. Like I said, kind of disappointed the way Olynyk played. He only had 4 points on 8 shots. Really struggled with him. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.